What's going on? Move the mouse back in City Skylines, but this time it's remastered. Town of Meander, and we finally own all 25 tiles. I know some PC players are thinking, what do you mean all 25? All 81? Well, we've got 25 on the remastered version. I'm a little disappointed that there isn't an achievement for it, but it kind of makes sense since initially the design of 25 tiles turned off achievements. I'm glad they came around on that and let us unlock them naturally when we get to the last milestone, which we've finally done. And now I want to go back and repurpose, redesign, change some things around. Most of it I've done so far on camera, but I want to kind of take this neighborhood by neighborhood and try and at least get the roads in their final position, make sure it's covered with just the right city services, throw in some parks. And once I kind of do that all over, I'm going to reevaluate the transit, including redesigning a couple of key intersections. But it all starts with the very first neighborhood that we started building in Meander. So let's jump out. Let's make it day. And before I forget, let's, I don't know, morning? Is morning better? Morning or afternoon is definitely better with a little bit of angle on the sunlight. And then let's come in and options day-night cycle off so we don't have to worry about that later. We've seen this before, but you'll see it again. This is the very first neighborhood that I built up. I'm calling it Riverside because it is by the Riverside. It's not particularly creative. Nor is the name for my park, but you'll notice that there are a few references to, well, I won't even say what. You either know or you don't. And if you do, cheers. Okay, so yeah, Palavin Park and Riverside is kind of what I want to focus on today. Talk about how it was built up, little changes that have happened, and how we'll finalize things as we move in towards the rest of the build. So it all starts with this approach off the highway, and this is one of the intersections that's going to get redesigned, so don't worry about that. We've got the traffic kind of funneling down this main street, and at spots, we did a little trick here. 3 lanes becomes 2 lanes means crosswalk, means things also slow down and recalculate. So maybe it's not the best thing to do right here at this ingress point for the city, but it does work. I wanted to also have natural cross points, crosswalks where we had parks and entranceways for people to cut through. It's a great way to make money now, but apparently going away in cities too, since they'll be calculating routes. They, the Sims, will be calculating their pathfinding routes, potentially, partially based on costs. Adults care least about that. They value their time more than anything. But cost is still a factor for everybody, so I don't think $40 parks to walk a block are going to work, and they're going to try and find other ways around, or potentially, from what's been said so far, just go someplace else. But anyway, so let's take a slow flyby. I know I've done it before. Free camera, hide, and let's see if we can get at the right angle where the trees aren't popping in and out, or maybe where they are popped in better yet. And we can just kind of fly down our avenue here. We'll do some driving and walking around today. But I like the look of this. I know that 4 plazas is a bit much, but you know, if we don't do it everywhere, don't turn it into pavement. We've got the occasional gazebo, lots of cut-throughs for pedestrians, occasional cut-throughs through cars, 4 cars. What is this? The restaurant, the info booth, the restrooms. It's a pretty quiet park for the most part, but it supports this tram line, which right now is one of the, I think only 2 transit lines we've got in the city. So it's moving a lot of people kind of up and down this main strip. Down towards the end, we've got our foot mall as well. Well, we've got our regular mall. Moving the mall in moderation over here was huge. I had initially put that in the foot mall, and it looks so stupid with a giant parking lot and no cars in it. Because why would that even be in the pedestrian area? It wouldn't. So we got that out of there, although there are car parks over here. Just pretend the Posh Mall doesn't have those. Don't worry about that. I've also rolled this back a bit. I had a comedy district here, a leisure district. I was going to do all the nightclubs kind of on a strip in the end. And I just like this better. Kind of cut off in this way. Is this, tell me this is zoned here. Let's make sure of this. It is. Okay, we just don't have the demand yet. Do we have a bunch of small ones come in too? Sure. Why not? Just every inch of available zoning space there, please. I put a fence on this side, which is a nice little trick. If you save just a little bit of extra zoning, you can make it so that side's not zonable. You can kind of sneak it in on a 4 square, but it's not worth it on console, so just leave yourself a little bit of extra room and you can cut off zoning and close off things like that. We can come in here in detail. I'm sure with some trees would be a nice touch. Not a meteor. Please, not a meteor. I think I've talked about this before. If we use the regular trees, keep an eye on the ground there at the base of the tree. It's an effect referred to as ruining, and it kind of spreads and ruins the grass everywhere the trees grow. So we don't want that, or I don't want that. I'd love to be able to turn that off. We can't with most of the trees, although I think, if I'm not mistaken, all of the Mr. Mason trees do not do that. So let's confirm. Not that these trees all go together. I'm sorry. I'm sure they don't. But you'll notice that there's no ruining effects on these. So definitely something to consider. Can we get a little bit of color popping in here? It would be awesome if we could turn these, but we can't. I've complained about this before. The best we could do is kind of step them partially on one another. If we do a brush, and let me confirm, come over here. Right, they're all oriented the same way. There's no way to rotate them. And for the beautiful trees that they are, rotation is just kind of a key. There should be random rotation there. It's weird because when you go to vegetation, right? When you go over to vegetation, there is that option. So D-pad rotates the item, and it's useful for kind of making it step on itself in just the right way. But we don't have that option with the tree brush because its size is connected to that button. So I don't know if that's an oversight. Like I feel like that's something that's supposed to be in the game, but it just isn't, unfortunately. So even that little bit right there, I mean, to ignore over here, but you know that makes that area pop a little bit. That's nice, right? So we'll be coming through to detail little things like that. But let's talk structure of all this. Let's come back over here for a minute. We've done this so many times. What makes this work relatively well, and it's not well designed for the rest of the city. We're doing this bit by bit, but having the 3-lane traffic on either side separated out effectively acts like a highway. It ends up looking less congested using the 3-lane roads, the 3-lane one-ways, because it doesn't have a parking lane. As soon as we introduce parking lanes, all of a sudden roads seem a lot busier, even though right now there's one car on that road. But like when you're doing quick flybys, like it just seems like a line of traffic, which is a good natural assumption to have when it comes to cities. Some of our intersections are really poorly designed. I shouldn't have these traffic lights here. I should have some kind of roundabout. Anyways, we're talking about over here though. It's not overly engineered, but why it works is the one-way traffic creating a loop around this area. We have very few intersections. Everywhere else we do, like within the residential neighborhoods, there's lots of intersections very close together, but very few intersections with that actual road when it comes to car traffic cutting through. And when we do, coming down here, right, coming into the city, this first street is a one-way going left to right, letting cars loop back around and into the zone. But you can't turn left, not yet. For that, you have to come all the way down here. And then there's your first opportunity to turn left into the city. So if I live maybe back in that neighborhood, I might go there. If I continue on just a little bit, I'm going to be met with another left to right. This is actually a 2-lane in the middle for traffic flow. And then down here is a right to left. Again, forcing the traffic all the way around here. Now, there's a decent amount of truck traffic that comes into this mall area. So that is met right here in this turnaround, and it heads right back out the city. You can see that, that's where a lot of the traffic is going. We've got the tram track crossing over there. So, I mean, there's a lot of things happening that we've only got, 50,000 people about. But I've shrunk it down. I want to make it, I think, feel more realistic, and I'm hoping that it's working. Now, I keep swinging over here because this is the starting point of the city. This is where episode 1 began. So maybe from an orientation point, it might be easier when you're not the one building this. So let's come into the district tools and look at where this Riverside district is painted. It's painted on all the suburban back streets. It is not painted anywhere on the main strip. But basically any road, including this 4-lane right here, that's important in a second, is all a part of that zone. And that zone has a policy, one of my favorites, called Old Town. I've said this before, but if this is news to you, you need to know. You can set a district. You can then use the inspector tool to inspect that district. Alternatively, you can go over to the actual inspector tool and click on the name of the district. We can go into policies, and now we can edit policies for only that district. We go over to city planning. This is available a couple milestones in, so you won't be able to access this right away. But you have Old Town, and only residents and businesses can use the area for motor vehicles. Ban other traffic. Let's ban this because we don't need to. No, not the bulldozer. That, yes. But let's actually make sure the bulldozer is, yeah. I burned myself with having the bulldozer tool on a large tool. Okay, so yeah, so we've set, and I guess let me jump back into my district view. We've set this district as what's called Old Town. So anyone, say, coming home from work, they can drive into the neighborhood. Anyone going someplace else from there is able to use those roads, but you're not able to use it as a cut through. So what that means is if I live here and I'm trying to get to the other side down there, you know, the other side of the river, then I'm not able to go through here. I can't use this to cut through. I would have to come down here, out to the highway, come around this way, and then come get off over here. So that removes some of that traffic from congesting up through here. Now, if we let it, it might be an appealing route because this comes all the way through here. We got to reduce some of these side streets. It's a little ridiculous. And it comes all the way back through here. We'll work on this bit by bit. But essentially, this is the part that I'm signing off on for now. I like the look of it. I mean, I say that, but there's some wonkiness. There's some things I would fix and correct. But good enough for now. Good enough for this pass. But yeah, so what else? What else happened? I moved back as I start to scale back the city. Right, I'm trying to make it a little bit smaller, feel a little bit more realistic in a way for a what would be an island city. It wouldn't be just a massive downtown everywhere. I scaled back the schools here, so I was using the new, what are they? Let's get the names right. High capacity elementary. And I think I was using the high capacity high school. I may have been using just a. Well, anyways, they're giant buildings. Like they're huge. Look at that in comparison to those other buildings. Like they're massive. So we stepped that back quite a bit. It fits the area a lot better. We've got the community school from Green Cities. We've got the high school, and it's weird because technically it doesn't matter. We've got the Hadron Collider turned on, so there's technically 0 elementary school students in the city. Yet, if you bulldoze or move this building, a bunch of people will be relocated. So it's like the capacity's over here. The capacity's at this place, but it basically will educate everybody. Do we not have university boost turned off? How is this thing still making it? Students 806. Okay, well that's right. We want to enabling this option to prevent the Hadron Collider from providing university education in your city. Yeah. Did I not disable university boost? Yeah, I want that on. So we'll see what happens over here. I would think that means an increase in students. We just went under. We just got a warning. 798 of 800 students. So we got to move people in. Like, our population is not doing great. But that's weird. I thought I had done that already. Why are we losing students from turning off the academic boost? If anything, it should go the other way. Or not not the academic boost, the university boost. Disable university boost on. Yeah, we want that. Is it just a population thing at this point? And I just so happened to, it was just coasting along just fine. Okay, anyways, there's some ugly stuff that you'll see in this build. I'm beginning to really like this, though. Let's see how much we like it, though. From the perspective of actually visiting our city. Can we drive? We can drive. Okay. We're going to throw it on what? Well, 1 speed, because people drive absolutely insane. Okay. You stop driving through me, everybody. We're trying... Whoa! We're trying to obey traffic laws here. Which is, I don't know if you've ever done this in cities on console. Obeying traffic laws is pretty tough. 1, keeping up with the insane traffic. Okay, okay. You ever heard of a blinker? And actually, that's a fair question. Have you ever heard of a blinker? It's a directional, but we call it a blinker here in New England. And depending on your accent, you might call it a blinka. Guy didn't use his blinka. Are you crazy? Ooh, game store. We gotta stop. We gotta stop at the game store. I keep hitting the triggers to slow down. Let's see. We're not gonna park we're not gonna park in the handicap spot. Come on. Okay. So we walk, we get out, we go in our toga into the game store. What do you got in here? You closed? This looks like a so this looks like a game go, like you would think kind of a game store, but why would they have a bunch of picnic tables up front? This seems like an asset. This seems like an asset that had another store. She's got ups. Tourists have ups. So do grannies though too. Where did someone stole my car? I guess we'll just have to pull out another pocket car. It's all right. It's also a sports car. It's yellow though this time. Okay, so be careful here. We're coming to the city to do some shopping, and we're leaning on our horn because you're terrible drivers. Oh my god, the input lag is not great. Let's go on the sidewalk here. Okay, okay, okay. We're doing all right here. We're not. Whoa, okay, never mind. I was gonna say we're not willfully disobeying traffic laws, but now we've got an accident. We need to hit and run, as they say. Don't do that, kids. Man, this thing is squirrely. Okay. We're good. Everything's fine. We're gonna stash our car with the damage back here. Anyone gonna see this over here? Let's park it back here in the woods. Okay, and now, okay, Granny didn't do anything wrong. Granny's just here for some shopping. This recycling outside the back of the cargo point, service point, is very colorful. All sorted. So don't mind the textures up close. There's only so much we can do here. But the new buildings, I like these a lot. These are the wall to wall from plazas and promenades. Very nice look. What? Okay, that doesn't seem correct. Like there's the background noise, the ambient noise of the city doesn't change in the like why is that beeping, and why is there truck sounds and car sounds, and why is this building on fire? I had nothing to do with it. You saw that. Like, you've seen me pull up to the area. Like, this wasn't me. I didn't do this. It should be fine. There's the fire department. They're here already. Great. Are you gonna... Yeah, come on, guys. Are you fighting it from inside the truck? Okay, there you go. Yeah. Are you putting out both buildings? Is this 2 buildings? It looks like 2 buildings. Guys, no, come on. Come on! There's a fire right here! The building's adjacent, it's touching. Like, how can you say you put this one out when the building touching it is also still on fire? Ugh. I really appreciate firefighters IRL. Did they have to make them this stupid in the game? Like, that's one thing that always has bothered me. Like, they just check out. They don't even care about the fire next door. Like, what is it about assigning agents to go do a task that they can't be autonomous. Is that something that they've talked about being better in the city services? I don't know where we're at. I'm recording this way in advance, so I don't know where we're at, what I can talk about. So I'll talk about that in a separate video, but man, firefighters, I hope they're getting an improvement. I know city services is one of the things they plan to cover in the dev diaries and feature highlights. So let's hope that with all the new pathfinding and decisions that the Sims can make, that firefighters know to put out. Can I say I really like these buildings, and I like the people walking around them, but the storefronts all seem very empty when you're down here on foot. Right? There's no activity of people going in and out. Like, what are people actually visiting? Like, can we let's do something. Okay, this person just got here. Where are you going, and what are you doing? I mean, I'm gonna guess that you desperately need to find a restroom based on how you're walking. So you're gonna come hang out. Okay, you actually did disappear into this building. Okay. Do they have a restroom, public restrooms in there? Because that person really needs to go. The reflections. Where is that? Where is that sky? There's a sky back there. I'd almost rather see like just frosted glass, no reflection than the wrong reflection. How's our little spot here? How's it feel on foot with all this mixture of trees? If you're not over analyzing and just walking by, I think it's okay. I would be a little bit more stylized. Did I pause it? We're gonna follow people, and then that person just went right into the first store that they found. I thought they were just kind of walking a loop. It didn't look very active. And then of course, as soon as I decide to follow somebody, that's the person that immediately walks into a storefront. I really like this. I like the look and feel of this downtown area. We can see our mall over there. Like this feels. There's so many cinemas. I love that building, that Art Deco style of the cinema. It's such a shame that there are so many repeats. I hope there's lots more buildings in CS2, just because, like, this shouldn't. I mean, this shouldn't happen. Like, it would be awesome, like, if when a building grew in, it checked to see if there was an identical building of that type within a certain radius, so that you don't end up with, you know, 3 cinemas in a row. Like, how many cinemas on this strip? Okay, right? This main strip that we've been talking about all episode. Write your guess down on paper. Store it in your head. How many cinemas are on this street? You ready? Let's find out. Let's find out together. Did I miss any? Is there none on that first block? I'll come back up and double check my count. There's 1 on the left, 2 on the left, 3, 4 on the right. Is it not as an egregious problem as I thought it was? 5, 6. There's only 6 on. We only have 6 movie theaters on Main Street, so they're all showing the exact same, right? We'll do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? And then I think if we go off of Main Street on this 4-lane, there's 7, 8 back to back. There's 9. Like, look at that. Cinema with a little comic shop in the middle. Like, that's use of space right there. How many cinemas? This is all residential through here. And then we get back into cinema territory. Okay, that's not part of our episode today. Neither is this, but how's the ice cream shop doing? It looks like it's well populated. So these are the modern assets, right? And they're much larger. We're gonna move those around. I'm not even sure I'm crazy about this hospital where it is. I would like to kind of maybe move some stuff around, but really liking the feel of this overall. Let's say you live in this neighborhood, you want to cut through the park and head to, I don't know, you're going to school. You live over here, but you go to the school across the main street. Let's walk it. Where? Walking. Who's our student? Do we have a student? The mascot. Okay. Sally's on her way to school. Sally is fresh out of cares in the world. She just walked right across the street. Didn't even check. Okay. So on our way to school, we use the crosswalk. Hey, I'm walking here, pal, trying to get to school. $40 to cross the park, because that's your only sidewalk to get there. That clock tower asset actually looks pretty decent in Remaster. I feel like that was retextured, because I don't remember it looking anywhere near that sharp. Excuse me, everybody. Pretty slick. The hospital is very big, but the clinic is just very underwhelming. We'll have to look at some of the other options. But it feels, this is a nice little playground. This is cute. There's another cinema over there. But it feels right, I think. I think it's starting to feel like a town. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to start to peel back bits and pieces. I'm going to start to peel back bits and pieces of the city and kind of build it up from here. We're going to see a lot of cinematics and a little run through about what I did and how I did it. With 12 million in the bank, I want to show you one thing though that I had to do tweak wise to get this hospital in here. So over here, perfect. Let's grab a road. This will be our side street. Well, this will be our side street, and this will be our main road that's kind of connecting everything. And let's say, like, okay, here. We had this kind of curve that comes out. Right, and we can't get a hospital in there. Let's take a look. I don't think we can. Oh, we can. But let's say, you know, here, let's move this up a couple. I want to show you kind of what I did to shimmy this in here. This is the help or how-to section here. So we don't have enough room for a hospital now. Not if we want to put it on that side of the intersection like I did over here. So you can see the road curves to the right in front of the building. I just had to move it out a little bit without making it too bad. So extend this straightaway. Right, drop your hospital in, figure out exactly where that is. Maybe even delete this. Right, come back into your roads, straight tool. And you don't want to look for the edge of the property. You want to look one beyond just to play it safe if you're on console. And then you should be able to curve it, you know, as much as you want. Within limits, not over the building itself. But that's how I basically had to do that to get this hospital in there. Because it wouldn't fit quite where I wanted, and I wanted to keep... You can see how it's just a little bit wonky there. It's not quite parallel. It was pretty parallel before with the road across the way, but you know, on foot, it's fine. Those little imperfections are what make a city, in my opinion. And it's my opinion because it backs up my terrible building. That's all for Meander today, though. Hope you enjoyed. These are going to be a little bit different from here on out. I'm going to do a bunch of work, show you a couple of the things that I did. If there's something that, you know, I think is tutorial worthy, or you could talk about how it was tweaked, I'll certainly go into detail there. But for the most part, we're going to take what we've done so far, clean it up, stylize it, really fix the bones. Make it so that the streets are in the right spot and spacing and zoning, and then let it sit for a while every time we make one of those changes. Let it rebalance things like commercial, office, industrial. Make sure that we're not having any problems, like not enough workers, not enough goods, that we haven't broken things with traffic. And I'm going to do that bit by bit, district by district, until we've got most of this island filled out. There's a ton still to do. Good news is we've still got some time between now and the release of CS2. Stay tuned for updates on Meander and my build process. Stay tuned as well for updates on City Skylines 2 on any of the news and info we can share when we can share it. If you enjoyed the video, likes really help the channel a lot. It's right down there. Take a second if you haven't. I know it's easy to forget. Go ahead, please. You've sat through all this nonsense. An extra click wouldn't hurt. And if you didn't click off the video already, hopefully it was the like button that you clicked. There's another button you could click. Subscribe for more of this, and I'll see you in the next one. If you want even another thing to click, there'll be some videos on the end card, or there's a channel membership down below if you'd like to support what I do. That is also appreciated. All those things are appreciated. I appreciate you, even if you didn't do any of those things. But seriously, it'd be a lot cooler if you did. I will see you on the next one. Until then, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.